Welcome to another episode of the Cat Breeding for Beginners podcast. I'm Pamela and I breed British Shorthairs in Perth, Western Australia. I have a real passion for cat breeding and exhibiting, and I want to share my knowledge and experience with you. I'm on a mission to help new cat breeders go from feeling intimidated, confused and having trouble getting started to confidently breeding happy and healthy cats whilst enjoying this amazing hobby. Before we get started, make sure you visit my website and download your copy of my helpful guide, Advice to New Breeders, where experienced breeders share some great tips they wish someone told them when they started breeding. You can find the link on my homepage at www.catbreedingforbeginners.com. Just look for the picture of Angelica with her kittens. I'm not sure what time of the year, what season it is for you, where you are in the world today. But right here and right now, it's the end of winter and it's about to be spring. Now, my cats are seasonal breeders, so they breed in the warmer months of the year. A lot of breeders have cats that breed all year round, but mine are definitely warmer month cats. So they're all starting to think about it. My girls are calling, my boys are yodeling, and it's all starting to kick off. And every year I do this thing where I think I'm all under control. I do my matings, I mark down who's happening with what where, but I always end up shooting myself in the foot. Because the one thing I don't seem to be able to do is to plan the timings of things, to plan when my cat's going to have kittens and what's happening at that time. And invariably, I'll do something stupid, like I'll have a litter of kittens that are due when I'm away judging. And so then Damien has to deliver them, and he does not like to do that. He finds it very stressful. Or I'll have a mating and then have kittens, and all of that's okay. I plan all of that okay, but what I don't plan is that I then do another mating and I have another batch of kittens, but I don't have anywhere to put them because the mum that's in the kitten room hasn't yet moved out into the cat room, or they don't get along, or, something like that's going on. Or there's an event, where I have people coming to stay with us, or maybe I'm going away. If there's things like the big shows that are like a week-long show, and I just seem to run myself ragged trying to deal with these situations because I don't plan enough up front. So what I wanted to tell you in this podcast is that when it comes time to do a mating, yes, write it down. Write down who it was and what day it was so that you know when the kittens will be due. But go that one step further. Work out what date will it be when they're 8 weeks old and they're going to need to go to get their vaccinations. Work out what date will it be when they're about 6 weeks old and they're about to come out of the room, out of the kitten box and their kitten pen, and they want to come out in the room or out in your house, and is that going to be a conflict with some other kittens that you have or some other mums that you have? Work out which week they will all be going to their new homes. Are they all going to be going at the same time? Are you going to be doing it in different times? Is it going to be every week for a couple of weeks that you'll have the weekends with pickups and people getting their kittens? Make sure that they're all going to be able to go be de-sexed at the vets at the right time as well. So all of these things, that it takes 65 days for the cats to give birth. But then you've got 12 weeks after that where you need to plan as well. What's going to happen in those 12 weeks that you've got to work around? And I'll give you an example. I have some judging trips coming up. I'm going to Tokyo to judge, which is very exciting. I'm also going away on a cruise early next year. What else is happening? I have a couple of big shows here in Perth that I'll be doing. And of course there's Christmas in there as well, which is a very busy time with my business. So I need to plan around all of these things. So I'm really taking the time and making a conscious effort to do it for this particular season. Oh, I'm going to Norway somewhere in there as well. So I've written all of that down and I've worked out that no, I don't want to have matings this week. Even though my girls are calling and my boys are ready and everybody's saying it's go time, no, not today, not tomorrow. It's actually going to be next week. Because next week is going to be the sweet spot because the kittens will be born while I'm home. There is a week there, but there's a bit of a week when Damien's going to be away as well. So I have to do, I have to plan around that. it's between me being away, him being away, the rooms lining up in terms of the kittens coming out of the kitten room and then going into the big cat room and then going off to be desexed and going off to their new homes. All of that, I have tried my best to plan it out around these events. And I have my fingers crossed that it's going to work. It's probably not going to work, but I'm pretty sure it's going to work better than it has in past years. And I've also said, I had this conversation with Damien because I drive him crazy with this. He's like, why is this happening now? And why didn't you think about that before? And I'm like, well, it's already happened now. What am I going to do? Put them back in? So I've had this conversation with him, and I have said, I have tried my best to plan it out so that things will go as smoothly as possible. But they're cats. And cats cats will just keep you on your toes. So for example, I have my first matings next week. I will be using my stud cat, Bobby. Now, Bobby is about 4 years old and he has not got a single girl pregnant. It is likely that Bobby is still not going to get a single girl pregnant, but I'm going to try one more time and see if we can get there. If he doesn't get them pregnant, then I'm going to have to go to my plan B, which is going to mean that they're probably they're going to be mated somewhere in the middle of my planning process. So I'm going to have to do it again carefully, work out my dates, work out what's going on and try again. But that may mean that I might need Damien to deliver a litter if I'm away, because this is the opportunity, you have to take it. So as much as possible, I'm going to plan it so that it's going to work out nice and smoothly. But like I said, it doesn't always go to plan. And I'll give you a really excellent but horrible example of that. If you go all the way back to 2020, in 2019, late 2019, I did all of my matings, all of my cats. I had, girls having kittens and due and everything, and that was all good. And then in December 2019, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so, what are you going to do? I had to have treatment. I had to have a lot of surgeries. I had to have chemo. But the cats were already pregnant. Like I said, you can't put them back up again. So we just had to do what we had to do. And some of my kittens were actually born while I was in hospital having a mastectomy. And this one was the one that had to be when it had to be, because it was the one that was actually removing the cancer. So that surgery had to happen on that date, and it just so happened that that was the date that my cat chose to give birth. So Damien and my mother-in-law were there at home, and they dealt with everything, and the kittens were born. I was there on the end of the phone in a video call, but couldn't really help too much because I was on serious pain medication. But they did it, and they did a great job. And sometimes life throws you curveballs. You just have to roll with it. What I'm saying is, as much as possible, have a plan. Because if you don't have a plan, you're really going to, like I said, shoot yourself in the foot. Have a plan. Think about all the things that are coming up. Think about things like Christmas. Think about things like going on holidays. Think about things like school holidays. Think about anything like that you need to think about. Write it all down and then work out between you've got the 65 days before they're born, and then you've got the 12 weeks before they leave home, and work out what's happening around that time and shift your dates for your matings so that you don't have yourself coming up against any of those events in terms of births or other important things that you need to do with your kittens. Anyway, that's just my advice. Ask me again in 12 months' time how it went, because chances are this might be all for nothing. Like I said, cats, they're just completely unpredictable, and so is life, really. So hopefully that was helpful to you.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you visit www.catbreedingforbeginners.com, where you can find articles, guides, courses and more. Plus, make sure you check out my amazing New Cat Breeders Club. It's a supportive space where new cat breeders can learn, share and help each other. I only take new members a few times a year, so sign up to make sure you don't miss out.